pagers, emergency exits on the left and the right.
All right, before you take your seats, I would actually ask you to please stand, and I'd ask Mr. Panicciulli to please lead us in the pledge.
Veterans salute. Everyone else, get hand to your heart. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and join the board in a moment of silence as we honor our veterans and our first responders. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Trustee Clark sends his regrets. Unfortunately, a family conflict prevented him from being able to participate this evening. This evening we have 3 hearings, and I'm just going to go over the format for all 3 hearings so that I don't have to do it at the beginning of each one. Essentially, the applicant or representative for the applicant will approach the podium. Always identify yourself and your relationship to the applicant, at which point you'll make a presentation to the board. The board, at the conclusion of your presentation, will then ask you any questions, will interact with you, at which point we will then ask you to take a seat, open it up to public comment. Once the public has had an opportunity to speak, the applicant then returns to the podium to answer any of the questions that the public had or to address any of the concerns. And at the conclusion of that, if the board still has any questions or concerns, they will then interact with the applicant. So with that, I will ask Mr. Rivera to please call the first item.
Application of Hong Lei for a special use permit pursuant to Chapter 550 of the Code of the Incorporated Village of Mineola, entitled Zoning, Section 550-12, entitled B1 Districts, subsection B, entitled Special Uses, and Section 550-13, entitled B2 Districts, subsection A1, to establish an acupuncture clinic upon the property known as 219 Mineola Boulevard, Mineola, New York, known and designated on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map as Section 9, Block 400, Lot 191.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. And just so I know that some of you may be here for any one of these 3, we're trying to do these in order of what we think may be the quickest and most efficient way to get through this evening. So anyone here for the applicant for 219 Mineola Boulevard? Come on up to the podium, please. And as you approach, I would ask our building superintendent, Mr. O'Keefe, has the affidavit of mail-ins been returned? Thank you. Mr. Gibbons?
Yes, Nassau County Planning Commission has recommended local determination, so the application is ripe to vote, and I would ask for a resolution under SEQA declaring this a Type 2 action.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Solosky. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening.
Go ahead, just introduce yourself
Oh, okay.
and then tell us a little bit about your application.
My name is Hong Nai.
And if you could please just get
Okay.
closer and address us, speak to us so that, because this is being videotaped. So
Thank
take
you.
your time, relax, don't
Yes.
worry about it.
My name is Hong Nai, the acupuncturist. My office used to be located.
Let go of the microphone. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Usually located in Floral Park and Jericho Turnpike, but 2 months ago, my office all burned down. I was there 20 years. That's why I'm looking for the new places. Then I found that the Mineola is an opening, space for me. So I'm trying to set up my business again.
Okay, well, I'm very sorry to hear about
Thank
the
you.
fire, but I am glad that you are choosing Mineola to restart your business. Can you tell us a little bit about the business, hours of operation, days of operation, how many clients at any given time. Just run us through what a normal day or a normal week would look like in your
Right.
business.
In Fort Park, because I was there 20 years, I do have 5 rooms, and I'm treating patients, like 20, 30 patients a day. And I have the another acupuncturist work for me on 2 days. I'm there 4 days. So it's basically we open 6 days. I have employee, the another 3 employee around the neighborhood. So that's how it is. But right now I just can't do anything, and just waiting for restart a business and rehire employee work. I hope. Mhm.
Okay, so your proposed location is on Mineola Boulevard, to give everybody a sense, between Jackson Avenue and Lincoln Avenue, right?
Yes,
Next to
yes.
the eye care place?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Is there any parking there?
It is a 6 parking space in the back of the building.
Okay, and
Yeah.
you will take the entire building?
No, we are in the first floor. The second floor is accounting business. They take 1 spot. The rest of it is mine, and it has a street parking.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, should be enough for the parking.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you hope to continue the same kind of volume
Yes.
that you had in Floral Park?
Hopefully, but the space is smaller than Floral Park, so I don't know yet.
This one is smaller?
Yes. Mhm.
How many of those 6 spots will be yours?
5 spots gonna be mine.
5 spots will be.
Yes.
Will your patients be able to park there if it's available?
Yes.
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 Okay. And you're saying you're open 6 days a week?
About, but Saturday is a half day, so 5.5 day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like for me, like a legitimate use in that area. And so again, I'm actually looking at a picture here of when it's an empty storefront. So the fact that you're coming in to have a business in there, we certainly appreciate that. I don't have any further questions. Deputy Mayor?
No questions, just thank you very much for choosing Mineola.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
Okay. Trustee
Thank you.
Solosky?
I was just wondering, what time are you open and closing usually on these days?
Usually from 9 to 6.
9 to 6?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll ask you to sit down just for a moment.
Thank you.
Okay? We'll open it up to public comment. Anyone in the 2nd row? 3rd row? 4th row? 5th row? 6th row? Last row? Nope. Come on back up. See, this is much better than making you wait to go in the end, right? Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
again, I do thank you. We thank you for choosing Mineola. We hope that you will be here for at least another 20 years and that you will grow. And I will say this because they are here. We have a wonderful Chamber of Commerce. They're right here in the 2nd row. So if you would like to join the Chamber of Commerce, I'm sure that they would be glad to have you. We would love for you to become part of our community, and we welcome you into our community. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Thank you so much.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do you have a second?
You want to do it, Tom?
Second,
Second by Trustee Solosky. Mr. Rivera, please poll the board.
Deputy Mayor Sartori.
Yes.
Trustee Casado.
Yes.
Trustee Solosky.
yes.
Mayor Ferrera.
Yes. Congratulations and welcome to Mineola.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Something else that I always say as well is any interior work that you're doing or any signs that you're putting outside, please make sure to work with our building department. If you have any questions or concerns, we want you to be able to open as quickly as possible, but we also want you to do it safely and legally, of course, and according to our code. So Mr. O'Keefe is very approachable, so signs or any kind of interior changes that you're doing, please check in with our building department, okay? Thank you, good luck, and welcome to Mineola, okay? Okay, Mr. Rivera, will you please call the second item?
Application of SBLM Elizabeth Torres for a special use permit pursuant to Chapter 550 of the Code of the Incorporated Village of Mineola entitled Zoning, Section 550-12 entitled B1 Districts, subsection B entitled Special Uses, and Section 550-13 entitled B2 Districts, subsection A1, to establish a new restaurant upon the property known as 199 Second Street, Mineola, New York, known and designated on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map as Section 9, Block 423, Lots 4 through 10 and 318.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Mr. O'Keefe, affidavits of mailings? Has been received. Mr. Gibbons?
Yes, Nassau County Planning Commission has recommended local determination, so the application can be voted tonight, and I'd ask for a resolution pursuant to CEQA declaring this a type 2 action.
Entertain a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, seconded by Trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Come on down.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mr. Mayor and Board. Thank you for having us tonight. My name is Mark Lamena. I'm the owner and operator of Lucharitos. We are looking at 199 Second Street, which is 4,000 square feet of full restaurant space. It'll be 90 interior seats and 38 exterior seats. This is our 7th restaurant, our first in Nassau County. Super excited to team up with Mineola on this project.
Great. So tell us a little bit about the project, the concept, the layout, hours of operation, things.
So we're a
that-
10-year-old brand. We started in the North Fork of Long Island in a town called Greenport. We're a Tex-Mex concept, slightly elevated. There'll be a bar area, there'll be a dining room area, and there'll be a grab-and-go area. We like the grab-and-go concept because we're so close to the train. We look to be opening at 6 a.m. for a breakfast grab-and-go, and closing 9 p.m. during the week, 10 p.m. on weekends,
Okay. And 7 days a week?
7 days a week.
Okay. Garbage.
We have double doors. Should be in this area here. And our bin is on landlord's property on the side.
Okay. And so it will be a private carter? that will
Private
be
carter,
taken-
six days a week,
In your experience in your other locations, how often do you have pickup?
6 days a
6 days
week.
a week,
Yep,
6
in
days,
in
okay.
Melville, we do 6 days a week.
6 days a week, okay. Parking. Okay, so for reference, it's listed as 199 Second Street, but this would be in the Morgan Park building on Second Street, across the street from St. James. So on one corner of the commercial property, there's a Starbucks. This would be directly opposite the Starbucks, but larger, on the on the
East
east side of the building on Second Street. So to get your bearings, this would be on the ground floor of Morgan Park on the east side. Okay, and
So-
so what are the parking arrangements?
The landlord has given us a few spaces in the basement, I believe, for employee parking. They also own the property where the bin will be going. Designated some spots for us there as well. And we're actually looking to hire local there, so most of our staff hopefully are in walking distance.
Okay, well, and you're close to the train as well.
Right.
So obviously you'll have people coming in. How many employees do you foresee, not in total necessarily, but at any given time?
At any given time, probably between 10 to 15.
Okay. So now you said how many outdoor seats?
38.
38 on their property,
Right.
on your property?
Under
right.
the cover of
Under-
the,
Under the arcade,
yep.
okay? That's all been cleared with the landlord? That's part of the lease? That's agreed? Okay. You're not just telling us
I hope
that.
so.
Yeah. And music, do you have live music at any time? Do you have ambient music? Will that music also be heard outside? Again, we're not talking about a residential area, so the concerns aren't that great. And
It would-
I would assume that if anyone complains, they're gonna complain to your landlord, so
It would be 100% ambient, but we would work with the landlord if they wanted us to do outside music. It does have its perks, but interior music for sure.
How does this space in terms of size compare to your other seven? Seven you have?
Yes,
Seven.
yep.
This would be number
This would be
seven?
this would be
This would be
seven.
seven.
Our largest is Melville, which is 2,500 square feet. So
this
this
would
is
be
our
the
largest.
largest.
So, again, I'm super excited for this project, so.
Okay, we're glad that space is finally being proposed to be used, and we would love to see it generate foot traffic and, of course, just to add to the sense of community that we have down there. Deputy Mayor?
I think you definitely know what you're doing, having 6 of them. The floor plan looks beautiful. I'm excited to finally see a space being filled with something really exciting for our community to come out and be a part of our downtown. So I'm looking forward to this reinvigorating our downtown even further. So thank you for choosing Mineola, and if you are approved, I wish you all the best.
Thank you for having us.
Mr. Casado?
Thank you. Good, gentlemen, good evening. I have no problem. This looks beautiful. I have just one question. Obviously, you can have takeout, and you talk about grab-and-go breakfast. So are people going to be allowed to go in that courtyard and park? Is the landlord going to let you have that service, you know, to drive through that
I
courtyard?
I don't believe so. The grab-and-go is mostly specific for the tenants that live in the building.
So say that again?
The grab-and-go breakfast items we're expecting it to be mostly demand from the tenants in the building.
Okay, but would I be allowed as an outsider or a Grubhub driver to go around the courtyard and park my car outside?
I'm not sure. I've parked there twice without getting a ticket, but I can only speak for
But
myself.
that's I just want to
Yeah, I
know
don't-
if that's, or do I have to stay out on Second Street and double park? I mean, you know, is there going to be an issue with people parking in that courtyard?
Good evening, Mark Bianchi on behalf of the landlord. Obviously the courtyard is a drive aisle. I see no issue with temporarily, I mean, it's not permanently parking to go in and eat a meal, but the landlord is accommodating in terms of people picking up orders. There's also along the rear of the building, the 12 parking spaces and the agreement with Fox's as well. We have a agreement with them, with the owner of Fox's. They use our lot, our spaces more so during the daytime, and on the off hours, we have the ability to use theirs as well.
Fine, that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Trustee Solosky?
My only question comes with the carting company. You said it was going to be 6 days a week, and I'm just concerned on Saturday when the tenants of that building would like to sleep a little late, and that truck comes in with the beeping noise picking up the dumpster. Is it possible that you can request a time for the carting company to come on those six days if you'd like?
I would assume yes.
So on Saturday, we could push it
Later in the
a
day.
little
Yep.
later in the day so people could sleep a little bit later?
100%.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you wouldn't deliver in the, you can have delivery, your own delivery, or is it just gonna depend on DoorDash, Grubhub?
It would be
Uber Eats?
DoorDash and Grubhub.
Right. You wouldn't deliver within the building, so if
I would love to.
All right, okay. That's a possibility. Okay, I mean, not that it would matter, I'm just wondering if that would be a possibility. I'm up on the 8th floor and call down.
Are you in the
and-
building?
No, I don't, no, I can't afford to live there, so, not on a mayor's salary. But it's very nice, but I could probably afford a taco or a fajita from your establishment. So your garbage is going to be separate from the building's garbage?
That's correct.
Correct.
It'll
It's
be in the same area as the building's garbage dumpsters.
Right, but a separate contract, a separate arrangement, it would not be commingled with residential garbage. Obviously, the building has its own pickup and all that. This would be a separate thing that you would enter into a contract separately with a carter. This would be your own arrangement, not with the building's arrangement. Any plans, or do you, in any of your other locations, provide for valet parking?
We do, and we actually just started that in our Center Merchants location, and it's actually going really great. It was well received by everyone, so it is something that we could activate if we needed to.
I would suggest it only because certainly in the evening hours, so our parking regulations or parking enforcement ends at 6 p.m., which is great. but it also means that someone can park there and leave the
Oh, it's
car
fine.
until the next morning without any repercussions. But we do have many lots, surface lots and other lots in and around your proposed location that you could easily get to. For example, behind Fox's, there's a large ground lot. There's a parking garage, just, 1 block away, or several of them. So obviously, if you, 4,000 square feet, and you have lots of tables, it's going to get a little tricky. Although it is off hours from Fox's, you do have that other parking there as well. So,
It's definitely easily activated for us, because
yeah,
we're
if it-
enjoying doing it right now. so.
Hopefully, you'll need it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'll be a good sign.
Yeah.
So, I do appreciate that. I'll ask you to take a seat, and then I'll open
Okay.
it up to public comment and see if anyone has anything. Anyone in the second row? Anyone in the third row? Fourth row? Fifth row? Sixth row? Last row? Come on up. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the timeline and the build-out? Have you submitted the building plans to the building department and all that? Has that all been submitted?
Yep, we're looking for hopefully a building permit next week.
Okay. Okay.
I heard you guys work fast.
And if that were to happen, how long
We should be open by Thanksgiving.
by Thanksgiving? Okay, great.
We're ready to go.
Okay, obviously, you've done this before, you've probably done it in incorporated areas, unincorporated areas with towns, so you know that you should obviously work closely with the building department to make sure that we make it this Thanksgiving and not next Thanksgiving.
Right.
Right?
We started in the village of Greenport. We love villages.
Good, and so do we. And we do like to have that control. So again, anything with signage, we wanted to conform to what we're trying to do in our downtown. I have not seen your signs elsewhere, but I'm sure that Mr. Lalazarian will make sure that it's classy and that it kind of conforms to the look of the building, while still respecting your identity and that kind of logo recognition, okay? Anyone else on the board have any questions? Okay. Since Mr. Gibbons said there is nothing that prevents us from voting on this tonight, I would entertain a motion to approve. Motion by trustee Casado, seconded by trustee Salaski. Mr. Rivera, please poll the board.
Deputy Mayor Sartor.
Yes.
Trustee Casado.
Yes.
Trustee Salaski.
Yes.
Mayor Carrera.
Yes. Welcome to Mineola.
Thank you.
There's the chamber right there. They'll have their December meeting there, okay?
Next up.
Thank you and best of luck.
Brian?
38 exterior.
Folks, we're just going to take a 3-minute break so that the previous applicants can clear the room and get their stuff. So anyone who's here from the previous applications, if you would, you're welcome to stay, but you certainly can leave.